In this video, I'll discuss the ring patterns that you get when you drop something in the water, and I'll show you the 4 stages of their formation and how to really draw them, what they really look like, and I have some surprises to show you. And it's in my book, Ellen's Guide to Rhythm and Motion, which is only $5 on Amazon. I photographed the stages of a water drop landing in a sink of water, and this first photo is a picture of the drop, and it looks like a cylinder. I think it's kind of neat. And then when it hits the water, you get a crater like this with water splashing out, and each one of these can cause their own craters and ring patterns. And then you see some internal drops also coming out. Here the crater is beginning to curl in, and you see more curling in here and drops escaping. And then as it turns into more of a donut shape, then the drop goes into the air. We see a little crater here, and then the ring patterns start. And they emanate from both the original and the secondary impacts. So consequently, one drop typically forms several concentric sets of rings. A splash represents the water's reaction to the initial impact, appearing to explode outward. And here I have a picture of the escaped droplets propelled into the air as these donuts of water surrounding the initial drop as it collapses inward. And these drops, by the way, can't be moving downward because the water in that case wouldn't have been agitated yet. So these drops are definitely coming out of the water. This is a photograph of rain hitting a lake, and you can see all the stages of the water dropping into the water that we talked about. First of all, is there a splash and a crater? Well, I think maybe over here, or that looks like a crater to me. Then the drop escapes from the crater, so we need to find something in the middle, like there is something in the middle and over here. Then the donut of water fills in the crater, so this would be a donut of water filling in maybe this one. And then rings form from the original drop and the secondary drop, and we can see all these ring patterns here. And they're the most evident because they occupy the most time. So I think it's great adding these different stages to the water. I think it adds interest and realism. How do you draw these rings in water? Well, a starting point would be to have the circles or ellipses drawn first to get everything in proper perspective. But it's unrealistic because rings wouldn't cross like that without interacting. And I'll get into their interaction in a minute. So this is the true ring pattern, and what I did is I colored each ring, the components of each ring pattern in one color. So you can see that as this red is fairly intact, these ring patterns, but as soon as it hits that green one, then it starts to fragment. And whenever they interact, you start seeing these little curved dotted lines. This is the pattern in the water when 2 stones are dropped simultaneously and close together. And one of them lands here and the other one lands over here. And what you have are long curves on one side of one of these rocks where only that rock is affecting the water, not the other one. Whereas in the middle, where both rocks are interacting, you get short little curved lines. And the lines are positive interference. In other words, the waves from the 2 rocks add together to make a bigger wave. And then next to it is negative interference, these spaces between the lines where the 2 waves cancel each other out. And you can see that the waves are in a radial pattern around the center of this interaction. I think this is important to mention, which is the rings of water don't actually move away from the center. They're vibrating up and down. And how do we know that? Well, if we put a cork or a boat on those waves, it would bounce up and down. It wouldn't travel away from the center. This is similar to sound waves, where if we're at a concert, our eardrums, even our bodies, may vibrate from the sound, but there's no actual sense of wind or general air movement. In both cases, the medium is vibrating back and forth to allow the energy of the wave to pass through. So it's really just the energy that is moving away, not the medium itself. So check out my book on Amazon, Ellen's Guide to Rhythm and Motion, and please remember to subscribe.